Man, this song is so good. I'm sorry. I promise. No, I'm not gonna make a promise I can't keep. I was gonna promise not to get distracted by this literally every single time we hear this song. But it's probably gonna happen. I'm probably gonna... I don't know. Alright, where were we? Oh, thank you, Raoul. God. It's so good. It's so good. Alright, so for some reason, this game keeps putting people in the front rows. Or front row. Singular. There's only one row. I'm gonna put them in the back row. Except for Sully's because she hits. Alright, so what we've been doing is searching for our friends. Hence, searching for friends. Oh, Thamasa. Oh, I'm still writing my Thamasa chapter. I'm really struggling, folks. You notice how Edgar has 2 different shades of blue ribbon in his hair? Hey, Axel, thank you. Oh, yeah, no, Lauren streams. That's true. Streaming is actually a pretty big part of my life. They stream at least 3 times a week, 3 separate games. So, I'm replaying through Final Fantasy VI because the Pixel Remaster came out, which has been great fun. The soundtrack is amazing. But I'm also in the end stages of Hades, which I play on Thursdays, and making progress through Horizon Zero Dawn on Tuesdays. And we'll see what happens next after that. I guess there's a couple of little indie games I might play, and then we're gonna dive into Disco Elysium on Thursdays, probably. That's my guess. So yeah. Man. No, so my thing is mostly listening to the music and then talking about story and characterization and things like that. So, hi Charles. Man, listen to that flute. Oh my god, okay, whose lore emote is that? Because I feel like I need to be their friend. Okay, sorry, hold on. I want that. I want one that says lore. Well, maybe we'll get there. I'm actually thinking about commissioning someone to redo my emotes because I don't think they work very well. So that may be happening. So what we just did is we initiated the Shadow storyline by rescuing him from the cave and the vault. I mean, I guess I have one. I guess you're right, Axel. I just don't usually think about it. So we have a few friends that we could rescue or retrieve next. We could go get Shadow properly and try to do his dreams. We could... but we have Mog, so we could give the Phoenix Cave a try. It's really hard though, is the thing. It's also like some of my favorite stuff in the game, but it's hard and there's fire and it's a cave. So we're not doing the Phoenix Cave until we're ready. I don't want to do the Phoenix Cave twice. I want to be like, okay, we're done with the Phoenix Cave. So let's see. So what do we got? We got Locke in the Phoenix Cave. We've got I guess we have to go like bet in the Coliseum to get Shadow, right? We could go down and get Gogo. We could get Relm. Where's Relm again? Oh. Because you get Strago from the cult, the Tower of Fanatics, right? Where do you get Relm? Where's Relm? I don't remember. Where is she? Oh my god. Oh, that's right. We noped out of Owzer's mansion last time. Well, we'll just... Why don't we just we'll just provoke Doomgaze while we do this. And try to figure out where we go next. What do we want to do, folks? What do we want to do? We'll just fly drunkenly around the world map in the meantime. Who do we want to go get? What do we want to go do? Do we want to try the Phoenix Cave, or do we want to save the Lauren's feelings for last? Do we want to go get Relm? I seem to recall Owzer's mansion is a little annoying, but that's okay. Where is this? What is this? I don't remember. No, there's no one in IKEA. Alright, Owzer, and you used her to get Strago. Okay. Alright, where is Jidoor? I know where Jidoor is usually. Oh. Anticipating this question, the makers of the Pixel Remaster have built this in. Look, it shows you what is in those places. I really don't like Umaro. Honestly, I would just not get Umaro. I don't like him. We will get him and we will give him a stupid name and that'll be okay. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Oh, jeez. Alright. Okay, hold on. I need to remember that I'm not allowed to move my controller because apparently that will mess with whatever's going on with the cord. So we're just gonna do this. Is Flash the right one to be using in this case? I don't know. Which one of Edgar's moves should I be doing? Oh, they poisoned Terra. How can you do that? Can you just understand the cruelty that goes into poisoning poor little Terra? She looks like she means business though, even if she's purple and giving off poison. Oh, good. Everybody is getting stat and stuff boosts. Okay. Alright. Oops. Oh wait, no, it's not the wrong way. Time for our little woodwind quintet. Wait, hold on. They made the windows of his house glow creepily. And there's like shadows walking past some of the windows sometimes. That's a neat touch. That's a really neat touch. That was not in the original, I don't think. See, like normal windows? Haunted windows. Spooky. Listen to that harpsichord go. I need to make sure my friend who really likes harpsichord has heard this. See that window? Oh, hey, hello, what are you doing here? There are a lot of opera fans in this town, you don't say. That window up there is like the extra spooky window. It feels like, makes me think of Ghosts and Mother 3. Speaking of, it's Mother 3, or it's Mother Weekend, because it's Mother's Day weekend, which means that like people are doing stuff for the Mother series. I meant to have something for the Mother series this weekend, but I did not. So, I'm sorry. We'll see, maybe I'll throw something together tomorrow and put it live on Monday. Who knows? Oh man, okay, well have fun, Raul. It's good to see you. We should catch up sometime. So no worries if you lurk or just head out, but it's good to see you around and hopefully we'll catch each other later. Oh no, what could we possibly do to ward off the creepiness factor? Oh, sorry. I didn't leave any suspense there. I wonder, actually, are the windows no longer haunted? We have to check this. The windows are still haunted. Does it reset to blue? No, it doesn't. Okay. Look. These are things you have to check. Oh, I moved my controller, apparently. I don't remember the order or what to do. Ah, okay. That's what I thought. Misty, what are you doing outside of Pokemon Land? Alright, we're just gonna do this. Meow, meow, meow. Sorry. The sprites really do have a lot of detail, and you can really appreciate that in the Pixel Remaster. Oh, please don't murder my party. I would really rather you not. I think that I'm supposed to be the one murdering you instead. There we go, that's more like it. Oh, I should probably get new gear for my party members at some point. Oh man, Terra's close to a level. Alright. Sabin, you should cure the party. Wow, you have so much health, friend. How did that happen? Treasure chest on canvas. Are the rest not on canvas? Still life of flowers. Ah, okay. Alright, we're just gonna do this. No! Hit your friends till they fall, it says. Entice. What are you casting, Edgar? Please do not murder everyone. Okay, well fortunately Edgar did not get a chance to murder the party. I'm glad for that. Okay. It does look like him, doesn't it? These chairs don't come to life and haunt you, right? Yeah, no. It's like the witch's mansion in Secret of Mana. I bet I commented on that the last time I played this. I bet I did that. That's the sort of thing I would do. Oh, they're corals! Interesting, I don't think I ever really realized that there were corals in this game. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say that. Oh right, autopilot. Check the Gestalt painting a few times? Okay, we'll go back and do that. Because the corals don't have their, like, really, their customary look here. Super Ball. Asking Misty, so she gonna catch some Pokemon. Is Super Ball a Pokemon ball? Pokeball? Pokeball. That's the word for that. Okay. Oh. The legendary treasure sleeps where the mountains form a star. That's the Phoenix Cave, right? Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so this, I wonder, I love the thought of the cats pushing these balls around, you know, like it looks like a cat toy. Doesn't it look like a cat toy? It looks like a cat toy. I think it looks like a cat toy. I think Terra definitely needs a new weapon, but fortunately we're good because Sabin will just take care of business. Bum, ba-dum. So creepy. Oh no, it's her. We gotta take her out first. Right? Maybe you can take everything out. Oh, she is the cat lady, isn't she? That's a good point. Although I could actually take... I guess Edgar should probably use a drill attack. Okay. Alright. Huh? She pushes you out. She's like, whatever, anyway. Goodbye. Okay. Man, it so successfully sounds like whatever kind of music this is. Alright. Is that letting me know that I should take the door on the right? Is that what that picture's? Oh, no, hold on. I gotta go through there and get the treasure chest. I probably have to fight the treasure chest, but that's fine. Oh, no, okay. That's for Relm, right? I had them equipped so that they would get lots. I want her to get lots of magic. Because 30% up is a lot. Because I don't know what else I would want to give her. I mean, I guess raise would be useful. She should probably have raise. Yeah, I guess we might as well get raise. What else is there? Oh, I worry about running out of MP. That's why I don't use magic ever. Because I don't want to run out. Kate Sith gives you magic +1, but you could switch over to Bismarck. His strength +2. Okay, no. That's for Locke. And you could go for more health. I don't know. Unless there's something that would be useful for him to be able to cast. But he won't be casting, really, so it's... You can give him some health. You want health? Alright. Edgar. What have you got equipped? Nothing. Hi, Veritas. How are you doing, friend? You know, I'm really not much of a completionist, even in this game. What should I do for Edgar? I don't remember which his stuff does, so... Like, I don't know if there's something in particular that I should be getting, but... And then she's got Madwyn, who raises magic, which is useful. I could give her Fenrir. Yeah, I could do that. How does Sabin have so much magic? Oh my god. Yeah, but the auction house things are annoying. I don't like doing things like that. Like, the thing is, I don't really min-max or care very much about min-maxing. What's this way? Oh. Charming. A lich. I don't remember what I'm doing here. Oops. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong way. This is the one we want. I like that the doors stay open. Oops. Yes, I will min-max the lore. You better believe that. Take their picture, Edgar. And then set them on fire, Sabin. This is a good brotherhood. Oh, thank you, Deep Shock. Oh, I appreciate that. I need to finish the next chapter. I've been stuck. So actually, thank you. That's helpful to hear that someone is enjoying it. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't remember these puzzles clearly. So just bear with me here. Huh. Which I'm obligated to say, if anybody hasn't read Darkness and Starlight, please feel free to read it, and then if you've read it, let me know you've read it, and it will remind me that perhaps I should keep writing it. God, these folks are hard for what they are. I think they're tougher than anything else here. They're doing damage to me, and I don't like that. Celis is actually low on health. I'm gonna have to actually heal my party. What's up with that? Bum piano piano piano. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. Piano piano piano. Piano piano piano. I thought that too, Sir Gregness, actually. I didn't realize that it was a scale thing. Ah, here we go. Just double checking, I can't just like run through. Okay. Alright. No, I just think I really want to have chapters done. I'm meeting with my Locke actor this weekend to record his lines for chapters 2 and 3 for the audiobook, so that's coming. Yes, no, these cat ladies are definitely serious. Alright. Okay. What's the trick here? I assume I'm gonna have to fight all of these. It's fine. I'll just take out the cat ladies one by one. Oh, sorry, I moved my controller. How dare I? The controller says, how dare you? Bam, 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 bam. I should probably do drill against these guys. Oh, it's fine. Just one more round. We're good. Okay, Celis has learned raise. That's good. Honestly, everybody should have raise. You know? What should I give her then? I guess she could take that one. That's fine. I don't know. Yes, the map definitely does seem like it updates, it reflects what's actually happening in the map. Man, Celis does real damage. I'm so proud of her. Oh man, okay, Terra just got a lot of magic. Yeah. Magic plus 30% extra from what you would usually get, I think is pretty good. I want to give that to Celis some more, I think, possibly, because for boss fights. For boss fights, she'll be using magic. Man, Sabin, I need you to go faster. Is there a make Sabin go faster option? Really just have everyone attack that lady in the back row so she doesn't do damage to me, but it doesn't really matter. This is the thing. This game isn't very hard, except in the few instances where it is hard. Okay. Oh my god, Sabin, do you really need more health? Yes, he does. Oh, I should probably heal my party, shouldn't I? That's fine. Oh no, back attack! Oh no, back attack! Oh no! Sorry, I'll stop now. Oh man. Edgar's low on health. This is no good. What are we gonna do? Goodbye, kitties. Goodbye, lady. No! Oh man. No! Oh my god. These ladies are definitely the toughest. I will heal my party after this, don't worry. Okay. Gold needle. Ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Oh my god, I'm sorry, the controller's just gonna keep doing that, and there's not much I can do about it at this point. At least I have lots of health, so that's good. Should I? Alright, you are funny looking. You're funny looking, yes. No? Oh, goodness. No? There we go. Got it. Alright. No, don't you dare. Okay. Hopefully things will go faster from here on out. Fortunately, we have Bum Rush. Oh my god, Sabin. How does anybody get by without Sabin in their party? La, la, la. So this would be presumably a painting of Maria instead of Sully's. La, 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 la. He is a great problem solver. I'm a fan of that. I am so cheap that I don't want to use a tent. I should probably use a tent, shouldn't I? Why wouldn't I use a tent? Lauren, use a tent. Use a tent. You should use a tent. Good job. Good job. That doesn't look like a crown though. Did they not have their little tents with the little unique things? Oh, that'd be such a shame. Alright. Fine. Indoor camping is fun. Indoor camping is great fun. You do it in your... Oh, I did that wrong. Hold on. Well, that is going to be so dead. And everything else is just gonna... Yeah. Alright. Back to fire dance. So good. Yeah, having a movie night with kids with a tent in your living room, that's exactly what is so great about indoor camping. Like, that sort of thing is so awesome. I think it's fantastic. It's like making a couch fort. I want to make a couch fort. I should make a couch fort. He kind of looks like a frog. Sitting on a beanbag chair, doesn't he? Oh, I forgot how cute Relm is in the Pixel Remaster. She's so cute. Oh my goodness. She's so cute. Is there anything else to do here, or do we just go for it? He is very frog-like. Hi. Sorry, I moved my controller. Monster possessing my prized goddess painting. A monster? Because who knows who could be in your party at this point? Chabadook. Oh, this is one where they covered up her butt in the Super Nintendo version. Did they cover up her butt in this version? Let's find out. So this is a creature that haunts paintings. When in doubt, just bum rush it. Hold on. Okay, oh. Siren had the butt cover. Oh, you're right. Never mind. For some reason, I thought that they had done something to this painting, and that was one of the things that people complain about. Oh, Sully's should be casting magic. Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on. I should put the gold hairpin on. Oh, it's only Tara that needs it. Oh, okay, actually, never mind. Wait, there we go. Charter Nook. Bum, bum, dum, dum, da, 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 da. All right. Oh, that's nice. Yes, thank you for healing him. Wonderful. Oh, jeez. Oh, God, Tara's dead. I should have healed her. She might have survived that. All right. I should probably save her. You couldn't have, but I could, and I did. I'm sorry, Tara. Oh, I didn't try suplexing the painting, Dark Drill. I'm sorry, I let you down. Oh, she's so cute, and her theme is so pretty. And this is such a better choice than going all out bagpipes, like in Grand Finale. Sorry. Oh my god. Oh, this is so much nicer. I think there's one other blue glass, but I can't think of who it is. I feel like there was one more, but it was less comedic than suplexing a train. Oh man. But yeah, no, when things are hard, just supply Sabin to it and it takes care of, he can take care of business. He's ridiculously good. Just use Fire Dance till you get Bum Rush and then just Bum Rush, or Fire Dance and Bum Rush. It's fine. It's all good. God, I love this song. It's so pretty. Of course, I'm talking through it, but you know how it goes. Alright, we'll take that. Oh. I wanted to listen to the music some more, but that's fine. Well, we got... I don't remember this one at all. What does it teach me? Oh, stamina +2. What does that do? Oh, Cure 3. Maybe I should have waited on this to make everybody learn all of the cures that there are. What does stamina do? What does stamina do? It's the pipes. Is it the Ulian pipes or something else? The thing that's basically like a mini bagpipe, but it doesn't have the same punch, but it still has some of that throatiness. Your defense stat. Oh, okay, so that's useful. That's useful. Everybody could use that. Oh, she's dead though. Oh, that's sad. She probably was gonna get a level off of that, maybe. Maybe not, actually. Either way, I would like for her to get more magic, but then she can work on. We'll get her one more level. How's that? We'll get her one more level to get 30% extra magic, and then we'll have her start increasing that. Resistance to death attacks. And how much health is healed from regen, as well as how much damage the character takes from poison, sap, HP leak, and how much the character is healed from the tintinabulum. Several espers grant a stamina bonus at level up. That's awfully specific. That's awfully specific. Well, I guess we'll be putting that on. Yeah, it's complicated. It's weird. I should use regen then. Okay, so she could do like, I think that's a great, Jidoor is just a great song. How much they've changed the stats mechanics in the remaster. Yeah, I have no idea. Alright, so that counts as recruiting Relm, right? So now we can go get Shadow and Strago. Okay. I remember where this one is for some reason. Such a good bass part. There's not a ton of new songs that we haven't heard yet. They went all out with this arrangement. Maybe I remember that it's the Dragon's Neck Coliseum, and that's how I can find it. Boom, boom. Ah, so this is the hint that Locke is the one. Okay. So they're claiming that Gestalt is the one who hid the Phoenix Esper there. I don't think that makes sense, so I will not be going with that take in Darkness and Starlight, sorry. Okay, Umaro's theme and Gogo's theme, the Mage Tower theme, and then the endgame theme. I think that's it. However, I will say, okay, we'll get Umaro so we can hear what they've done with his theme. I did just save, right? Let's double check. Because I'm probably going to do this badly. Okay, yeah, we did. Oh god, it's such a good song. Alright, let's try it. What do I, okay, it's one of the swords. Is it this one? No, it's not one of those. It's this one. Right. I'm sorry, it's just so good. It's such a good arrangement. This one, oh my god. I assume... I'm just gonna go this route. Speaking of good songs. I'm glad that Chakra didn't do anything when he's alone in the party. Oh my goodness. Well, that's good. God, Shadow's theme is so good. Sorry, Shadow, but you were up against an unstoppable force. Chakra usually Sabin dies and everybody else gets healed. So I was really concerned about the fact that he was the only person in my party. I was like, is he about to kill himself in the middle of the party? No, that's not Chakra? Are you sure? Because if so, which one is Chakra? It doesn't kill him normally? Oh. He has one that works that way, right? What are you doing here? The only thing I know how to do is fighting. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, what's the one that he sacrifices himself with? I'm glad he didn't do that. Yes, come on, Shadow. Yes, you should. Come on. Have some meaning in life. Spiraler? Soul Spiral? That doesn't even sound familiar. Huh. I don't know, man. Do I even have it? I don't even know if I do. Listen to that guitar solo. Still soloing, I'm sorry. What do you want from me? I'm gonna... Chakra, restores some health to other party members. Razor Gale. I didn't even know this existed. Okay. Feels like Pummel? I know Pummel. Aura Bolt, I know Aura Bolt. Suplex, I know Suplex. Fire Dance, I know Fire Dance. Chakra, I thought was the one that he sacrificed himself, but apparently not. I don't remember Razor Gale even existing. And then I got Bum Rush. What's the other name for Razor Gale? That can't have been the name that we had in the Super Nintendo translation because I feel like I've never heard this before. Shadow is actually a hedgehog. Oh man, maybe he is. Maybe. Does that make Relm part hedgehog then? What would that mean? Oh, is that Air Slice? That sounds familiar actually. And that would make sense as a translation. Air Slice, that I think I've heard that name before, but Razor Gale I haven't. But I also didn't know Phantom Rush or Rising Phoenix is such a better name than Fire Dance. But it's always gonna be Fire Dance to me because Fire Dance has saved my bacon so many times. Like, have you seen Airblade? Okay. Like, I mean, you can see why I don't know the other ones though, right? Like, I get Fire Dance as early as I possibly can and then use it to destroy everything until you get Bum Rush, and then you just use Bum Rush on single enemies and Fire Dance otherwise, and that's how you beat Final Fantasy VI. Oh, God, it's such a good song. I don't want to end it, but we're gonna have to so we can move on. It's also a good song, so really. All right, where do we go next? What should we do next, folks? Should we go to Umaro? I go back to Narshe, I think, then. I'm sorry, I don't know why I've decided that this is the playthrough that I make. Wait, no. I was making those sounds impersonating creatures and fairies. Okay, apparently I have just given into my need to make onomatopoeia for onomatopoetic impersonations of everything. Because I'm like impersonating undead noises in like the undead broker, what's his name? In Hades. And I feel like Horizon Zero Dawn, I've impersonated some of the machines, so I don't know. Oh, where is that? What's this? Is this Figaro? Where? Oh, sorry. I didn't sleep very well last night, which is basically the stage of my life. Okay, this is Kefka's Tower, not the Cult of Fanatics, yeah? Relm is 10. She doesn't sound like Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn has a very sexy grown-up New Yorker voice, if I remember correctly. Niddle the Serpent Trench, thank you. I can work with that. Ah, thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, okay, so if you follow the argument... Hello? Oh, I need to bring Relm. Sorry, I forgot to put her in my party. If we follow the convincing argument that was made the last time I played this game... wrong button. I can use the right button, I swear. Okay, I got it eventually. Good night, Veritas. Thank you so much for being here. But yes, 3 a.m. you should definitely get some sleep. Yeah, Relm is pretty brash in the Ted Woolsey translation. I don't know how exactly she is in the original. But she's still pretty brash. She's pretty funny, honestly. Which has been interesting writing, because I'm writing Thamasa in Darkness and Starlight right now, and I think I'm gonna have to take out some of the scenes because I think I'm writing too many scenes. But for whatever reason, it's just like all the comic relief that Lauren is capable of writing, or maybe not capable of writing, is coming out. But yeah, so as was suggested to me the last time I played this game on stream, like Strago really feels like a little Jewish grandpa. So it would be reasonable for Relm and Strago and the rest of the Thamasans to sound kind of like New Yorkers because, okay, for me there's an association there, but that's because I'm descended from New York Jews. So I'm just saying, it could work. It could work. Sorry, I moved and my controller got mad. There are a lot of blonde characters in this game. I mean, there's a lot of characters that aren't blonde, or at least there are characters that aren't blonde. But there's a disproportionate number of blondes. There's really like oh my god, Blade Tiger, that's a very fair point. Oh man. Yes, perhaps my controller is a cat, so that's what we're doing wrong. No, there's not a lot of brown-haired people in this game. I think I'm just gonna go for it. Take the wheel. Oh god, she's so cute. She's so cute! I should probably put gear on her so she doesn't die. Alright, here we go. Yes, that's true. Amano's original designs for like everybody is blonde. Relm is brown-haired in the original Super Nintendo graphics, I think. You stubborn old bag of bones. She's pretty. I'm sorry. She's pretty brash here. Wait, hold on. Alright, sorry. It took me a minute. I was distracted to realize that we had a new song and that I should listen to it. So this is a song that I forget even exists because I hate it so much in the original. This is vastly better. Like, the original is just unpleasant to listen to. It's grating. Grating. Really, there's no other word necessary to describe it. It's grating and unpleasant to listen to. I will mute it because I hate it. Not because it makes me feel bad the way Dark World does, but just because I just find it really unpleasant to listen to. But in this version, instead of that, partly because they have better samples or maybe some live choir, I don't know. Like the sounds themselves are more pleasant to listen to. So instead, actually, I mean, it's not a pleasant song, but it's atmospheric. And so it's like a little overwhelming, but it should be overwhelming. Like it's supposed to feel like this. It's supposed to feel wrong. They might have been more dissonant in the original. That's possible. It's still pretty dissonant. There's a harshness and a shrillness to it. And like it's like unrelenting with the sleigh bells. And there's like psycho strings. Because that's what they're doing. They're doing the psycho thing there. Is jarring, but in a way that works really well. And then they've got the lower brass kind of doing a little counter melody there. Yeah, and there's a little bit more melody to it. So it's more interesting. It's less grating. And like that build, like that, it's kind of like a little bit wrong. It's not like a glorious swell. I like it. I think that they did a good job with it. This is definitely a big improvement. It's still not anywhere near like a favorite song of mine, but this like, if this were my first time encountering this song, if I were playing this game for the first time, I would remember this. And not in an, oh god, what is this? But be like, oh, where am I? What's going on here? This sounds like this place is bad news, you know? So that's cool. Way to go. And this like huge, like sort of detuned choir, almost like a Sakuraba composition, is cool and interesting. Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on with the story, shall we? We've listened to the music. I give it an A+. Like, I'm really impressed with how much more effective it is. Alright, so here's Relm being her disrespectful self. And so Strago, I think, thought that she was dead and was like, I'm just so depressed that I will fall in with a cult. To be fair, cults actually do tend to prey upon people who are vulnerable. And so somebody who is in grief, somebody who is depressed, is vulnerable to cults. So. Oh, this is so nice after that, though. Oh, she like gets mad, but then look at how sad she is. Like, she's yelling at him, but she's also just really sad. But yeah, that's one of the many things that's terrible about cults, is that they prey on people. You know, like, they're bad and destructive and predatory in other ways, but the particular people that they target are usually more vulnerable, and that makes it somehow even worse. Like, how dare you take advantage of someone who's recently lost somebody that they love, who's already hurting so much? How dare you step in and hurt them? And of course, it's that people who aren't hurting are less, you know, less likely to get sucked in by something like that. But it's also I don't know. I've had a couple of friends, actually. I did have a friend who got a little bit involved with one. And she and I weren't super close at that point. So I've heard about it kind of from her after the fact. And she didn't get in super deep, but I was just like, oh, wow, that is not good. That's not a good thing. Relm is, of course, laughing about this, not taking it seriously. She hasn't changed. And Strago actually means that this is a serious bless your heart. Apparently, bless her heart is one of my southernisms. I have a few of them. I'm not entirely aware which of them they are, because I'm a weird smashed out pile of southernisms and some Canadianisms I inherited from my mom but didn't know were Canadianisms. And there's probably something I get from the New York Jewish side of the family. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you old geese bag does feel like something Woolsey would have written, but I don't know if it is. Relm was like, you're gonna leave your cult friends, alright, Gramps? And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely. So he just jumps around like a weirdo. Oh, Strago. Alright. We're gonna not do this place because it's hard and we're not equipped for it. Okay. Well, that was worth it. We got a new song. We got Strago back. I actually never say oi because my dad didn't. My grandpa did. My dad never did. And I only saw my grandpa a few times a year, so like... Oops, that's the wrong button. Look. I have a really hard time with controls. Occasionally, I will use sentence structure, like construction, similar to how my grandma spoke and my aunt will speak. Usually if I'm asking people if they want me to cook for them. Because that's the thing that I remember my grandma saying. Where shall we go next? Oh, we can go to Narshe. Is this Narshe? Oh, I failed. No, this is the wrong way. Where is Narshe? That's Bannon's. Yeah. Look. Map. Narshe. I'm in the right. Like I'm in the right vicinity. Yes, Duncan does look like Bannon. They did use, at least it's similar to Bannon's sprite. I should probably not have Relm in my party here. She's on level. What's your problem, Gal? Why was Gal level 15? He was level 15 when I got him back, folks. I think he must have glitched. Gonna be like, oh, let's see what Shadow says. guess I should save. And I guess I should probably put his don't run into things ability on, shouldn't I? Equip. What does the Lich Ring do? Is that one of the cursed items that you uncurse by wearing a lot? Do those even exist? Alright. Tritoch is in the back. And we'll go get Umaro. And this way we don't have to deal with anything. The cursed shield, okay. Oh. Okay. Look. I did that wrong. I don't know my way around. Okay. I did get it. Oh geez, nope, 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 Oh, I should have brought Terra, shouldn't I? Sorry. I don't know, that's all I've got. Is it super weak to bum rush? Oh, we're gonna have to fix that. I have to cast fire, right? Oh, I don't have fire. How do I yeah, somebody's got to have. Here we go. Might as well bring him back. Do you mind? Oh my god. Oh. Oh, I guess I probably should. Okay, well, that's fine. As long as Sabin doesn't count as dead for this fight, which he might have. Oh, we didn't get anything for it anyway, except for magic. Hello, Tritoch. I suppose that's a little consequence. But what of this devastation that fills the air? Could the War of the Mage I have lasted 1,000 years? Oh, no! Okay. This one is very well spoken. Tritoch? Oh, well that's dramatic. Espers? Wait, hold on, what? Did I say something wrong? I might have said something wrong. Here we go. We will not be fighting the dragon this time around. Do I want to fight the dragons long term, actually? It's nice that they leave this here, because there's a bunch of boss fights you can do in a row here. We're just gonna go over here and not deal with that. Nope. 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 Where is Umaro? He's in the cave though, right? He's farther down, right? He's inside the cave? Or is he out here somewhere? I don't see a way to get somewhere, so I don't know. Where is Umaro? Okay. Oh. Oh, that glitched. Did you see that? It repeated the text before it gave me an option. Okay. For some reason I thought that... Alright. Okay, the ending of the loop is really nicely done. Yes, we have Mog in our party. Oops. So the fun thing about Umaro's theme is that it is like a merging of like high woodwind and low brass, and that's part of where I think it's like comedic effect comes from. Oh no! Yeah, we've got the Moogle charm on because I don't want to have to deal with that. I'm here already? Did I miss anything? I bet I did. That's fine. Yes. I love that there's just Magicite just in random places. I love the end of that. Like, that's nice. Midgard Stormer, isn't that a dragon in Final Fantasy XIV? Hey, buddy. All right. I failed at bum rushing in the Pixel Remaster. How did I do that? Yeah, he's all posing all coolly. He's all cool, dude. Alright, I think we can just do this. Oh, I got it. Whopping 10 gil. Beat him up. He does kind of, he's dabbing in his battle sprite there. A Yeti with a love for bone carvings, stronger than a Gigas, but a bit unruly. And by that, they mean you can't give him directions. He just does his thing. Okay, I'm sorry, folks. This is the only character name we're changing. I don't... Oh, hold on. You have to understand, I don't like Umaro, and this is the name that we give Umaro when I play this game. I came up with it. I streamed the Woolsey translation a couple of years ago, starting on my birthday, and I was really amused. I thought I was really funny. I made myself laugh with this. It didn't matter if it makes anyone else laugh. So yes, the return of Woo. I'm glad to know that you are all on board. All right. See, it's already better. He's already better. His little text thing is predictably snow-colored. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we can do this. Everybody else gets their actual name. Yes, that's right, Woo. Go to the ship. You will never leave it. Actually, no, it's true. Woo might leave the ship for the tower. Is there anything else to do here? I don't think there is. I think I'm stuck. Yeah. You got no choice but to go. Oh man, okay. Ampy redeemed posture check, which we were oh man, that's so nicely done. That's just, the little ending there is just so good. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by that. His theme is definitely his theme is definitely the best thing about him. Alright, let's leave. Woomaru. Oh man, oh that's right, you can see him there, right? Can't you see him just hanging out in that little spot looking out? As like a hint that there's something there? At another point in a... I think I'm in the right way. We're in the wrong way. Right? Oh... Oh, this takes me to Arvis's house. Right? No, it doesn't. Okay. Well, I guess think it would if I'd gone around the other way, but I didn't. I'm just leaving. Peace out. Goodbye, Narshe. I'm committing to it being Narshe and not Narshe in Darkness and Starlight. I'm sorry. I know it's canonically Narshe, I think, if I remember correctly. But, I don't know. It's such a good baseline. Alright, where is Gogo? Where? Is it Triangle Island? Is that it? Is that it down here? Sorry. Is Triangle Island the Gogo Island? Is this the Gogo Island? Or is this the Dinosaur Island that I don't want to be on? This is testing my memory, folks, but I've actually gotten enough sleep a couple of nights this week, so it's possible my brain works. Maybe. I don't know. Don't count on it. Alright, sorry. I realized I feel like I'm like, hi, and maybe that's too much, so I won't do that. This is Dinosaur Island. The Triangle Island in the upper right. Okay, fine. Here? No, I guess I should probably... I probably should take Mog out of my party, huh? I should probably put somebody else in my party. Is this right? I'll probably regret this. God, it's such a good song. Oh no, here we go. Okay. I did it right! This time. Here we go. Munch, munch, gobble, gobble. They're letting you know that it's not the same. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking, possibly Blue Glass. So we're gonna go in. I want you to know, Blue Glass. So I work for a company that makes virtual instruments, and we were talking about like bluegrass, like the style of music, and I kept calling it Blue Glass because one of these words is a word that I say much more frequently than the other. So I'm amused by that. All right, so let's try not to get stomped on here. That flutter tongue. All right. Okay. I don't know what genre of music Gogo's theme is, but whatever it is, this arrangement leans 150% into it and is a woodwind party. There's like every possible woodwind in here. And like also I think a muted trumpet, but that's fine. We can let the we can let a muted trumpet into our woodwind party if we really want to, right? Right? I feel like I can extend an invitation. Oh god, that's so the little blah, 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 like that sound. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I literally can't flutter tongue just like so flutter tonguing is the exact same motion that you use to roll your R. Like if you're speaking Spanish and you roll an R. But I'm physically incapable of that motion, which means that if I spoke Spanish, I would have a speech impediment. And also, I cannot flutter tongue. All I can do is this little gluh sound in the back of my throat, which is not the same. It's an extended technique on the flute. The perfect place to bust it out. Just a little bit. So we've got a lot of flute going on. But you've got like some double reeds. And this is a bunch of saxes in there. And this is a... Okay, so I'm... Like, is that a bass clarinet? And then we got our oboe. And there's a bassoon and a flute. there's a lot of flute going on. But I... So I'm not, for all that I'm a woodwind player, I'm not a reed player. So I get the reed instruments confused. So I'll be like, I'm pretty sure that's in this. And people are like, no, Lauren. Oh man, that's like... But yeah, so we've got a bunch of woodwinds, and that's, I think, a really interesting decision to have that family of instruments, especially because the soundtrack's been overwhelmingly brassy. So what they tend to do with a lot of the arrangements in the Pixel Remaster version is put the melody on a grab bag woodwind instrument. They'll pick one at random, like, oh, we think we're gonna do this kind of flute or whatever. But they have a lot of the like new stuff being like, let's weave in some really powerful stuff in the low brass, which is neat and really distinctive. Because you don't necessarily think of low brass as getting like the melody or as like getting the big important parts and stuff. But by using low brass as much as they do, like it's really distinctive. And this has actually always been a pretty brass-centric soundtrack. It uses a lot of French horn in the original, which French horn is like one of my favorite instruments of all time. I'm not biased because Locke's theme has a French horn in it or anything like that, but I'm totally biased. But Jidoor is also very woodwindy. It's a very different genre of music. But there's instruments that people don't think about. So if you like weren't in like band class, you're like, bass clarinet, what's that? You know, maybe. And I don't know, there's like what, 4 saxophones? Is it 4 saxophones? It's a lot. I just love everything about a French horn except beginner French horns. Seventh grade Texas history class. We were across the hall from the beginning French horns. Nobody is magnificent when they first sit down to play an instrument. That's just not how it works, especially one that you have to learn how to play with your body as opposed to like piano. But some have a steeper learning curve than others. And French horn is one of them. Double reeds are another. Like beginner clarinets and saxophones and flutes, frankly, if you can get a sound on the flute, which is a little harder to get a sound on than the others as I understand it. They sound like beginners, but you're not like, oh my god, the same way. I've been told that beginner violins, I think, sound worse. Maybe it's beginner viola. Like one of them is like worse and harder to listen to than beginners of other instruments. But those, again, like you don't have to create those with your body quite to the same way. So I think there's not as many ways that those can go wrong and not as many little things you have to learn to be able to make a sound on the instrument properly, you know? So wind instruments, that includes both woodwinds and brass instruments, like they do have a lot of things you have to learn to make a sound properly, let alone the technique of actually playing the instrument. And French horn for the first 2 years generally is practically unlistenable. I would say with oboe, it's more the first year. Like French horn, I think, has like the worst of the learning curves of all of the instruments. But once they learn to play, my goodness, but they're the best. The most beautiful. I think French horn might be my favorite wind instrument. English horn, which is the big oboe, is the only one that could give it a run for its money. I also really like cello, and all 3 of those instruments have something in common. They're all like, I think, the ones that are most like in the range of the human vocals, and they have like a darker, more melodramatic and tragic sounding nature. Look, I never claimed to be anything but predictable in certain ways. Oh man. Anyway, so that's Gogo's theme. I don't know how many of you folks were here the last time I played through this game? Because my sister and I were children when this game first came out. And so we naturally wrote lyrics to some of the songs. And this is the only one. Rules, Relm, rules, and Gogo has a hat. Relm, 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 the hat is cool. Relm, rules, Relm, rules, and Gogo has a hat. Dun, 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 dun. Hat is cool. Are you not in awe of my lyrical talents? Oh my goodness. Clearly, I am not afraid to embarrass myself in public. Thank you for the reminder. Oh man. Oh, hello, buddy. Oh. Oh, these guys will push you off, right? That's their thing. I think that they push you off. Yeah, if I remember correctly. They're bad news. Oh, shoot. I just look. Oh, ushers and bridges. Are they ushers? I don't even know. Come on, buddy. Come on. This guy, I swear, he's like intentionally sabotaging me. Come on. Oh my god. There you go, buddy. There you go. No! Alright, we do it again. This is why it's good to have the moogle charm, because if you have to fight on top of all of this... Oh, shoot, 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 shoot. I don't remember what that does, but... We made it. Alright. That's what turns into control, okay. Oh man. I don't remember. Wait, does it show that? Okay, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna wait. Oops. Usher is one letter away from pusher. No, that's true. I think it's here. We'll see if I was right. I was right! Okay. Thank goodness for the run button. Yes, no, I actually remembered that that one was a trap. Shockingly, I'm actually really surprised myself. But because it doesn't show you where you could go on screen, like it doesn't. So it could be that those two pieces, like the other ones, like would train you that it's safe to stay in front of treasure chests. But I don't think so. I think that they're just being buds. All right. I think I'm doing okay getting through here. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, it's pretty. Bum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-da. Oh, I didn't realize she had the ultimate weapon equipped. Oops. Maybe that's why she wasn't doing any damage. Bone Club and Snow Scarf. Alright. This is so pretty. Look at the glowing effects. Alright, so Gogo? Gogo is one of those things where, like, one of the things in this game where, like, if you've played Final Fantasy V, apparently Gogo is a character in Final Fantasy V. However, Final Fantasy VI was released in the United States without any context from Final Fantasy V. And the character in Final Fantasy V, if I remember correctly, uses he, him pronouns, whereas it's made clear in Final Fantasy VI that they don't know what pronouns to use for Gogo. And so there's kind of a separation here between people who know that Gogo is a character in Final Fantasy V who doesn't really have any consequence in Final Fantasy V as I understand it, and people who played Final Fantasy VI without that external context that has nothing to do with Final Fantasy VI, who speculated on their own interpretation of who Gogo might be, or just assumes that Gogo was nobody, which within the world of Final Fantasy VI, I believe canonically Gogo is no one. For me personally, the one that I enjoy the most is the fan theory, which is not in any way supported by the text, but would be cool, of Gogo being Daryl. And so, I like that. I think that's really interesting. I think there's so much potential for story and melodrama and tragedy. Setzer is an interesting character. Daryl is an awesome character. And there's a shortage of female characters in this story. Oh yeah, I've heard Gogo could be Manon. I've heard Gogo could be Gestalt. I don't think I've encountered anyone saying that Gogo could be Leo. But I think it's because we watch Leo die on screen, and the rest of them we don't. So, because Manon just disappears, nobody ever mentions him again. Oops! Who knows? Do I have to fight them? So technically I should, if I'm going off of Gogo the secret boss and the mimic job in Final Fantasy V, use he, him to refer to Gogo. However, that is not in this game and there is no connection made directly, so I think I will use they, them to refer to Gogo. Because we don't know what pronouns they use. We're gonna go with this. So Gogo as Daryl must have amnesia. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. That's how Gogo as Daryl works. That's how it has worked since the 90s in fan theory. No, so I mentioned I first experienced online Telnet to Usenet newsgroups. And my very first experience with anything online was a flame war between Ultima fans and Final Fantasy fans. I was in 5th grade, I think, at the time, but I found a group that was a play-by-post, a situation that would feel very that would be repeated a lot in MUDs that came later. But it was a big crossover, but in the world of Final Fantasy VI. But so you could bring in characters from other Final Fantasies, but only other Final Fantasies. I don't think you could have characters from anything else, or original characters. So it was a play by chapter, news group role-playing experience. So I had an original character who I think I mentioned last time. Her name was Alin. She has blue hair and blue blood and a very, very dramatic story. I don't know. She was some sort of science experiment. I don't remember what her deal was. Probably dig it up somewhere on the Wayback Machine. Maybe. I don't know if those things ever got archived. Hilariously, my primary co-author for that character, I was in like 5th or 6th grade, so I like used like my dad's email address for things and stuff. But my primary co-author went on to be one of the founders of one of the Gaming Intelligence Agency, I think is what it was called, the GIA, which was a game news site in the 90s later. And when I found out that that guy was this person who'd been my common co-writer when we were kids, I was like, oh, hey, hello, stranger. I think I might have messaged him at some point on some other media, but like, it is really funny. It's a weird, small world. There's a few other people that were in that group that got connected with OCR and things like that later on. Super fans, I guess, from a young age. I did not get involved with OCR, but yeah, that's where I first encountered the Gogo is Daryl theme, because our Gogo was Daryl with amnesia. So she didn't know she was Daryl, but she was Daryl. There's a lot of drama. Edgar was undead. At one point he got, I think, possessed by Lich from Final Fantasy I. And so he was the bad guy, but we didn't want to like actually kill him for good. I don't remember what else was going on in that, but I might see if I can ransack my memory. If you would like to hear more of that, I might see if I can find anybody else who was in that group. If you happen to know someone who was in the Final Fantasy RPG in the 90s, do let me know. Because my memory is not very good and I was not a central character. I was way off to the side. They probably have no idea who I am. Yeah, the undead Edgar plot point was a thing. It was like the big thing. So he had like some big creepy castle and it was very dramatic. I don't remember what Locke and Sully's were doing in it though, and you would think that would be the thing that I would remember. So I don't know if like 5th grade Lauren had not yet fully sunk into her obsession or what. Couldn't tell you. Undeadgar. Oh my god, Blade Tiger. Oh no. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Well, on that inspiring note. Long time since anyone visited me here. Idle for too many years. Perhaps I ought to mimic you. What are you doing here? Gogo does actually talk. Is there anything else here? Can I exit from here? What do I do? I don't remember what to do from here. I did pretty well getting here though. You gotta give me credit for that, right? I do have a teleport stone. I stocked up on those. I think Blue Glass recommended that I do so in the future, so I have a few. Shall we do this? Because I can do this if there's nothing else for me to do down here. Is there anything else I need to do down here? Otherwise we'll bust out of here and just listen to the music. Okay. I do not know if Final Fantasy V is I mean I just know that people have said that Gogo is a him in Final Fantasy V. Ooh, look at that. Shiny effects. All right, so there's only one thing to do. And that's get my butt kicked by the Phoenix Cave. It's so hard, folks. It's so hard. Do I need to level up my party? It is actually. I think the Phoenix Cave is my favorite fiery lava cave. Oh, I could do Doma Castle or the Ancient Castle. Right, because those aren't the same. We could do that. We could do that. There's just only one more character to recruit. Mercurius, thank you for subscribing. So there's this like implication that General Leo and Terra forged like this like important connection. Thanks for dropping by, Deep Shock. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I could give Gogo Blitz and have multiple bomb rushes. That's true. I think I've talked to Cyan in the engine room, but let's do it again. See, he's already overcome his fear of machines. So the right way to do this, I think, would be to unequip everybody. And then when we make up our party, then we just put them, because we have 2 parties. We only need 2 parties, right? And one of those is going to be Mog with the Moogle charm. The second one, I think, is the one that doesn't fight bosses. I think the first one is the one that all the bosses are on. I think. Do we want to do Locke's section? Or do we want to go take care of one of the castles? What's our vote? What's our vote, folks? What feelings do you have on the subject? Do you have feelings on the subject? Oh, that's right. Doomgaze, I forgot about that. Forgot about Doomgaze, sorry. Okay, everybody wants to get Locke. Okay, excellent. What relics should I put on my party? She should probably have the gold hairpin, I think is the one I want. And God, it's so good. It's so good. How is it so good? How on earth is this song so good? How did they take something so good and make it better? How did they do that? How did that happen? Seriously, what gives? How? How? So good. I think you give him 2 earrings, and then you save 1 for Terra. All right, thank you, folks. Gale hairpin. Where is that? There we go. Preemptive strike. Sounds good. Back guard. I don't know what any of these things are called. Here we go. Alarm earring. Everybody's got earrings. Do I want to give... Do I want to go shopping for anything? We haven't run into Doom Gaze at all. This is it, right? Right? This is it. Oh. God, it's so good. All right. I feel like they expect you to like Locke. Right, this is the order, right? I want it... That was weird. We're good. We're fine. I solved it. Okay. Okay, it doesn't matter which order, it's just when you send them in. Okay. Alright. Let's equip Terra with optimal. Actually, I should probably take the red cap. Or actually, maybe the mystery veil is better for her than the red cap. The diamond shield. Thunder shield. We'll see if that's the right way to go. What was I going to equip on her? Magic up. Given that she's lower level than everyone, I kind of wonder, what does Shell do again? I don't know. Earring, hero's ring sounds good. Because she'll be hitting from the back row. Oh, okay. Sure, we can do that. Alright. So we're just going to take a moment. It's just so pretty. All right. Do I want to have Mog stand on this one and send my party in? Oops. I assume. Or actually, no, yeah. Oh, wait, can you talk to them? No. Oh, shoot, wait. Wait, hold on. I thought I didn't put his Mog charm on. I didn't put his Mog charm on. We're gonna die. Bye. I don't remember what I saved last. It'll be fine. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll start auto-save. Thank you. All right. There we go. Better. Ward Bangle. That's the name. Oh. Did I do that wrong? Oh yeah, he does take damage for that. Ah. So pretty. I'm sorry. It just... Oh, that's right. He can just walk across spikes, right? Okay, can't do this. Did I do that wrong? There's a way to do this. I guess it'll be fine, right? They'll be fine. Ward bangle, right? Maybe we'll do the ward bangle. There we go. I mean, we'll probably get our butts kicked by things, but that's fine. Oh, well, that's fine. That's fine. Ooh. Ah, there we go. All right, folks. Let's do it. We're gonna do our best. This is, oops, yeah. We're gonna do our best. Because if I recall correctly, part of the problem here is that things are strong to fire. Here, if I remember correctly. Oh, that's fine. Okay. These guys are okay. Well, that's good to know. But there's a lot of other enemies that are... Jesus. Oh my god. This right here. Yeah, a lot of the enemies absorb fire, and that's part of why I have such a hard time with them. I guess he should just take them out one at a time with Bum Rush. Alright. So, do we have a healthy fear now of the Phoenix Cave? Because I sure do. And I'm not even at the fire yet. Oh, right. That's right. Hello, Lauren. Look. She probably shouldn't have the Man-Eater equipped, actually, because probably the Man-Eater is not super good here, because probably these don't count as human enemies, I guess. Oh shoot, I did that wrong too. Oh man. Okay, well, we're off to a good start here. We're not off to a good start. Oh no, did they just... Okay. Okay, well, Sully's is gone. I don't know, folks. This isn't going so well. Okay, fine. I'm just gonna run. I'm just gonna run. Nope. Please don't die. That's okay. We won't be dead because Sully's ran away. Oh, good. They healed Savin. Hi, Phil. We're having some trouble. We're in the Phoenix Cave. Did you know the Phoenix Cave is hard? Because the Phoenix Cave is hard. Oh, Sabin can't run because he couldn't run. Or he got left behind. Did you see that? I'm glad I have a stock of these. How on earth did Edgar survive with 4 health? My goodness. I don't even know which ones count as undead. If you don't open the treasure chests, does Locke not give you the treasure at the end? Alright, I think these guys were weak to fire, right? That's really important to know what I can use fire on. Oh, he still does? Okay. Pretty sure these guys. Thank goodness. Thank you, sillies. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Do I need to heal my party? No, we're doing okay. Well, actually, nope. Nope, that's a lie. This is the Phoenix Cave. You don't mess around with the Phoenix Cave. Is this the right way or is this the way I came from? Oh, man. Alright. Well, that's true. I could switch to Mog and do the Mog thing. Okay. Probably actually more effective for him to use Drill than Flash here. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll switch to Edgar using Drill. Doing more damage to one enemy, so he takes out one enemy faster. Yeah, we'll switch to that. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Piccolo going on in the background there. Doo-doo. Okay. Yay! Oh, that's right, I forgot. So she's a level behind Edgar, but she already has as much MP as he does. That's good. Excellent. So we'll take Mog this way. All right, Mog. Where are we gonna go? Down here? Oh no! That's a boss, isn't it? Right? Did I do this wrong? Or is that if I step on the switch, it turns into a dragon? Do we know? Help me, folks. We're gonna quick save. Oh, wasn't there in the original? Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Oh! There's escape routes. Did I do that wrong? Oh, I did that wrong, didn't I? I wanted to go up there, didn't I? Or can I not go up there? I'm good? Okay, thanks. How on earth does Locke manage to make it through here? Of all people. He's got to be really good at running away. There we go. Yeah, that's much better, much more effective. He is very suave and well connected. Why, so he is? Yes, thank you for noticing. Oh man, I don't know that that would help the help him not get attacked by bad guys, but okay, let's see what happens. Go through here. You know what, actually? I think that that guy's going to absorb it, but I think I'll be able to kill the other two. Hi, there's Prefect. Oh no, this actually works on all of them. Okay, we're good. He steals the monster's clothes so they get embarrassed and run away. Amazing. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. No! Oh my god, you zombied her. I don't like that. Alright. Fortunately, they provide you with what you need to bring back. Alright, time to cure the party again. Well, sort of. Cure some of the party. Okay, that makes me laugh. That's very funny. Well done. Well done, folks. It's nice that there are some exits. Is there anything else for me to do over here? Let's check it out. I think that's, yes, that's gonna be progression. Okay, cool, excellent. Of course, everything is all glowy and fiery in the rooms where there's fire. Did you know that fire is bad and I don't like it? Did you know? You know what else I don't like? Caves. I'm just gonna complain about that, but we aren't yet at the point where we're like jumping over fire, so it could be worse. Yay, that guy's gone. No, don't you get out the zombie stick. You put the zombie stick away, sir. Necromancer. Unacceptable. Okay, this is a much better fit. Okay. Sabin learns death. Cool. Great. Good. Excellent. Why does Sabin have the thing so that he gets even more health? I feel like that's just excessive. That's unnecessary. Sabin doesn't need more health. Maybe he should have a different esper instead of Katobalpas. Maybe he should take stamina? Or on second thought. Oh my gosh. Somebody should be equipped with that. Somebody is equipped with that. Good. Okay, what does she got equipped? She's getting lots of magic. We can give her health though, because she's sort of low on health. Although I kind of want to give... That is really nice. I want her to learn this magic. Somebody's gonna get the health. I guess we could give that to Tara. Maybe. She can just get maximum boost. What are you getting after this? HP plus 10. Or how about... Oh, no, you don't need that. Okay, we're gonna do that. You're gonna take that one, yes. Alright. Yeah, no, sorry, Tara. You're back to this. Although, actually, honestly, it's probably more beneficial for Sully's to be learned. Yeah, it makes more sense for Tara to be getting that right now. And you can jump over here to Fenrir and get more magic again. Alright. Onward. I love this song. It's so good. Yay! You know what's great? Fire. Fire is the best. It's not. It's not the best. Did you know that? Did you know it's not the best? I'm not a fan. Yeah. Whee! Joyful delight. Oh, these guys probably can't. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll learn really quickly if these guys absorb fire or not. Yep, they do. Okay, good to know. We won't be doing that again. Don't worry about that. We've turned off autopilot. I probably should run from these guys, shouldn't I? Probably should run from these people. They're not people, they're bad guys. Well, whatever. I'm gonna kill them. Like that. There we go. We're gonna go back to Flash on these guys for now. Meow, meow, meow. Yep, 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 yep. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, you poison sillies, you jerk! Why are you such a jerk? Nobody likes you. Stop being bad. Oh. Why are they not dead yet? Alright, well, we're just gonna do this. Fortunately, we're not dead yet either, so it's okay. And we'll get experience, which will turn into massive stat boosts, apparently. I don't think I realized how good the stat boosts become with some of these later ones. Is this where I came from? Or is this where I came from? There's another treasure chest and I don't know how to get to it. And I don't want to worry about treasure chests, but oh my god, I hate you. Oh, actually, no. Okay, well he'll just take them out one by one and everybody else will try to take out everything else as best they can. Didn't mean to do Flash. You can't get that chest yet? Okay. Stop! Whatever that was, I don't want you to do it. Salmon is just being a disaster. Well, at least Edgar and Tara are about to get a level. Oh, they fixed the Chaos Dragon's AI. Oh, man. Alright. Salmon, you're gonna Asuna yourself. Let's see what that doesn't take off. Oh, good. Okay. You're floating for some reason. Cool. Alright, that's fine. Okay. So I can't get that treasure chest in the middle. So I want to go this way. Or is this where I came from? This is where I came from. This is where I came from, isn't it? No, this isn't where I came from. Okay. Aha! We're reducing the amount of fire. That's good. Do I have to step on that though? I don't really want to. Could I just not? How's that? Oh no, I'm not gonna step on that. Do you have to put more water on it to make it steppable? Alright, I can fight you guys. I can fight you guys. I can use Rising Phoenix on you. Yeah, fire dance, go! Drill. Not to be confused with the Twitter account. Alright. This is the wrong way? Okay. I don't know. There was another door that I didn't go through here. Is the thing. Back up the stairs you just came down. Oh, okay. I don't know. Alright. There we go. So Edgar's gonna have gotten a substantial health boost. Oh man, have I ever mentioned that I like electric guitars? Do you hear the electric guitars in this? Back up the stairs I came down. These? Because I thought that there was... Because there's nothing I can do down here. Unless, oh... I guess probably I'm gonna... do something here. Where can I go now that I couldn't go before? That's always the question. Not that. Oh no. Map. Sorry, Mog. You can just sit there at like 1 HP. It's fire. Oh, it's a ribbon. Nice, though. That's nice. Ah, I see. The only options for me now, other than that, are to go up here. So we will do that. Ooh. Oh, I can't do anything here yet. Okay, fine. Oh no, but I don't think I can do anything else. Well, maybe I can. Maybe I can go somewhere from here. Nope, I can't. Okay, this is it. Alright, so I guess the other team has to go and do something. I don't know what they have to do, but presumably they have to do something. I passed a switch? There's a switch? Where's the switch? Oh. Huh. Okay. Not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it. Not gonna do it. I don't want to chance the dragon being, like, coming back in the way, you know? Like, I don't want to get trapped in there with the dragon. No, thank you. Like, unless you think I can take the dragon, which I'm not convinced I can. There's so many switches here. Those don't seem to do anything yet, so... I guess I should probably heal. Ah, okay. I see, I see. Fire is bad. Actually, fire is a very useful thing. It's very important. I'm very glad that humans learned to harness fire a million years ago, but I don't want fire. Thank you. Kaboom! Ooh. Okay, take a little minute. Do you believe I've actually never drawn this scene? I've never drawn Locke in the Phoenix Cave with the Phoenix Esper. I'm actually surprised with myself. But I guess I will have to at some point. we'll presumably get there with Darkness and Starlight someday. The legendary treasure that can undo death itself. Oh, I guess its sprite does look different. I think it's got cracks visible in it. You could not bring Celes here, but why would you do that? Why would you do that? Knowing that Locke is in here, why would you not bring Celes for this drama? Drama. The only thing that was real to me. Huh. That's an interesting line. I don't remember that. I wonder what it was in the Woolsey translation. I've told you I don't really know this translation, so... I broke my promise and lost the only thing that was real to me. Till I do what I said I'd do, until I restore my honor. I'm nothing but a no-good liar. That's interesting. This is not the nuance that I would read into this scene based on having played this game with the original translation. Because what's interesting here is that the way he's talking about this is as though this is what he owes to her, and he has to make right what he's done wrong. But it's not, then I'll have her back in my life, in a way, you know? You know? That's interesting. I think that's a little bit different. I have to do right by her. Yes, I have to undo what I've done to her. Of course, welcome, Rachel. Welcome back. Bringing you back to this ruined world, even if it does work. But better that than never. This is, by the way, my band's logo. If you ever look at the returners, you'll see our logo is the Phoenix Esper, the Phoenix Magicite. Yeah. I actually really like that she wants to say thank you for making me happy. Because if you're with someone and you love somebody and they make you happy, I mean, that... Sorry, I like the fact that it doesn't matter how much I know is going to happen. It doesn't matter how many times I watch it. It doesn't matter how well I know this scene or the story or the characters. I'm still going to cry every time. I hope I never stop. I hope there never comes a time that I see this scene and I don't cry. But it's actually a really nice bit of closure. I really think that it is a really nice bit of closure. That she's able to say, like, I don't regret knowing you. Like, I loved you and you made me happy. I think Love Her As You Loved Me is new, honestly. I don't know how clearly it spells it out in the original, since apparently some people missed it. Somehow, this is a love story right here. This little bit right here is a love story. But yeah, the dialogue was translated differently. Like the nuance of it felt different. She's like, you know, you loved me, you made me happy. And I have no regrets for that. But now you have a life ahead of you. So you're already in love with her. Go on. Go on then. You know? And that's the little bit that we do know of Rachel. It's the only chance that we get to really see Rachel, other than her following Locke into the cave and just a couple of moments there. Because we don't see much of Rachel. We see her when she's lost her memory and is like, my parents want you to go away, so go away. But we don't, it's not like Daryl where we get a bunch of different character defining scenes. So we do see, like, you know, she's a generous soul. That is one thing we know about her. You know, what she wants to do is to thank the person that she loved for giving her happiness. And then she is willing to let him go. And there are a lot of characters in stories who cling jealously after death to the one that they love, and they won't let go. And I think that, like, there's like a world of difference between like becoming like a villainous ghost who's trying to interfere with the life of the person you loved. Like there's a whole world of like jealous but okay and understandable that's not quite there. But the level of peace that Rachel has about this, I think, does say something about her as a person. I mean, obviously, like, yes, she is dead. Yes, she is. She does know. Like, she does know that she's not coming back. But she still chooses to, because she loves him, she's like, you know, go on, go find some more happiness. That's okay. I think not everybody would do that, and it would still be understandable for someone to not go to that degree of go for it. But I appreciate that Rachel does. I think that says something about her. She's a good and generous soul. So Phil, unfortunately, this is one of the instances where the game being from 1994 really hurts it. I've said one of the biggest problems with the storytelling in this game is that the scenes are rushed and compressed. And so as kid playing through it, you kind of fill in the details and imagine it, so it doesn't seem as jarring. But what we need, desperately need right here, is a scene where these two sit down and talk. You know? Like, this is important. Before we have the victory, we need to have that. God, I love his song so much. And like, yeah, this makes sense from a mechanical perspective. We're going to wonder about it, you know? From a mechanical perspective, we want the treasure chests. But that's not actually what the conclusion of this scene should be. You know? Well, I don't know if you don't have Celes in your party. Okay, they do put her in your party then. But yeah, like after you have that moment with him talking to her after Rachel, they don't give us a scene. It turns out there are only 105. Did I say this? Have I looked into this last week? There are only 105 Locke and Celes fanfics tagged with the Locke/Celes tag, also known as the Japanese term for it is rokuseri. There's only 100, I think 105 fics in the past 20 years of this couple. So I am significantly upping the number of words of Final Fantasy VI Locke and Celes stuff out there, and I may write more. But there are several even among them, because I haven't read all of them. But I've read some of them, and there are several that try to tackle this. Because frankly, what we get isn't enough, you know? There needs to be closure. Like, we get the closure to their fighting, kind of, in Thamasa right before Kefka shows up. Which is the scene that I'm writing soon. But no, this doesn't go enough into their relationship. Like, maybe it's too early for them to kiss because Rachel literally just died. But like, have them like stand and hold hands and look in each other's eyes for a moment or something like that. Have something more. But I really don't think that I don't think that they put enough writing into any of the scenes that happened here, you know? Like, the World of Ruin has some of the best moments in the game emotionally, character-wise, but I don't think they do enough with them. I want them to do more. It's gonna take me so long to get to the World of Ruin, or get through the World of Ruin, folks. Maybe. I don't know. And Darkness and Starlight. But we'll get there. We're almost at the end of the World of Balance. Anyway, yeah. I know, I totally agree that the pacing of this does not hold up to modern standards. And that modern expectations for game storytelling would demand more of this scene. We would need to have a few different cutscenes here. We would need to have a scene with these two just talking. And I don't think that it means that the writers back in 1994 did a bad job. I think that they did the best they could with what they had, with their skill, with the technological limitations of the day, with the time limitations that they had to put into the game, and with like the standards and expectations for storytelling. Like, this game was light years beyond what we'd seen. And my objections to its storytelling are because other games have since then taken it and run with it. And granted, you know, the Suikoden series followed not that long after. Suikoden 1 was 1995, I think. So really just a year or so later. granted, I think it is unfair to compare any game to the writing, the caliber of writing in the Suikoden series, just because I think that they are, of their era, the best writing in games. We've since surpassed that, so I'm dying to see with Eigaden what Murayama does with his incredible skill and talent in the modern storytelling era. But so they were able to do a lot with the characters in this game. Compare the characterization and storytelling in this game to... I love it. But Final Fantasy IV is much simpler. It has much simpler story, much simpler characters. There is more nuance than what we got. Ted Woolsey... That was before Ted Woolsey. I think that was when they were just having, like, somebody please translate this line. There was some nuance that was lost in the original translation that we got. But it's still not super nuanced. There's not as much. And even the big reveal in Final Fantasy IV is kind of, have you watched Star Wars? You know? And 5 is not trying to be this. 5 is a Saturday morning cartoon. It's a fun, adventurous romp with a bunch of goofy characters being silly, and maybe some tragedy happens occasionally along the way. 6 is so ambitious. It's so ambitious. They're making like an opera, an operatically dramatic story, with 14 characters, a number of whom do actually have personality and development. Somebody's here to defend Final Fantasy IV from me. I will say that because 4 is smaller in scope, it's able to focus more on the individual journeys of its characters. Whereas 6's weakness is that there's a little bit too much. We've got to go from point A to point B to point C to point D to point E to point F to point H, and skipping around a bunch. And so it doesn't take the time to linger because it is trying to do more. But I would say that 4 is a simpler game, and it has simpler characters. Like, the characters have much easier to define personalities and arcs. Also, it does have repeated, like, the death fake out is a thing that happens in it, yes. But 6, I think, tries to do more. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it succeeds. But 4... What in the Super Nintendo era really is the same level of ambition in the storytelling and the characterization? And there's nothing that's quite like this in this generation. There are a few games that did have a lot of emphasis on story, but like not this way. So they were basically like showing what could be done and discovering what could be done. And so the many great writers that have come since then, including Murayama with Suikoden 1, and especially Suikoden 2, built upon that, whether it was intentional or not, whether Final Fantasy VI was an inspiration for him or not. I think Final Fantasy VI does a great job, and I think that it is a roaring success for its time. But the more that game writing grows and develops over time, the less satisfied I am with the weaknesses of 6, because I would love to see what would happen if it were created with the standards and storytelling that we have today. And I know I say that a lot. I would say Chrono Trigger has a better defined world, but I would say Chrono Trigger's weakness, in my opinion, is that its characters are, in my opinion, a lot flatter and a lot less ambition, and there's a lot less emotion in it. Chrono Trigger is not trying to do the same thing that 6 is doing, which is why some people vastly prefer one and other people vastly prefer the other. I am strongly in camp, I love Final Fantasy VI with all of my heart, and Chrono Trigger is a game with good music and some good moments, and its gameplay is interesting. So, yeah, having a silent hero is probably one of the worst parts of Chrono Trigger. that Final Fantasy VI has on it. We can argue about who the protagonist of 6 is, but at least it has one, or several. Oh, man. The moment your main character is a non-character, you have a problem on your hands when it comes to storytelling. Sorry, BioWare. Suikoden is at its best when the character actually has a personality and if they don't let the character speak. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent here. All that to say, yes, Final Fantasy VI could do more with this scene, and yes, I would like the scene to do more, and taken out of the context of when this game was created, this scene is is unsatisfying. But we have to remember that this game came out in 1994, and was amazing at the time. And we can't judge it by the standards of modern storytelling. It's just not fair. You can say this doesn't work for me and I don't like it because you like modern storytelling and this doesn't live up to those hopes, and that's a completely valid thing. It's a completely valid thing. But I think it must be judged in the context of when it came out, whether it works for you or not. So, I'm not a fan. I'm like an anti-BioWare fan, so I don't know, because I don't know comedy. Like, I don't like comedy. Seinfeld was never funny to me. So I'm really not one to ask about that. I think Half-Life would probably have been better if Gordon had spoken, personally. I don't think that I generally think that having a character is better than not having a character. Personally. But I like stories that are character-driven. I like emotional story-driven games, and I like emotional character-driven story-driven games. That's the most important thing for me, so. Yeah. Anyway, I have kind of gone off for a while here, but I do love this. And I do love this for what it does give us. Even if I wish it had done more, even if we must turn to fanfic for a fully satisfying experience. You know what's funny, actually, to me? And again, I have not read all of the Locke and Sully's fanfic out there, but I have a goal to do a lot of it. And yes, you can, if silent protagonist is something that you're doing intentionally, like Deltarune, then it can work. But by and large, I think having a character that does not have a defined personality means that that character can't have relationships that matter, because that character doesn't exist as a person. But I'm also not the target audience for BioWare games, clearly. No, I was saying, so one thing that I think is really interesting about not a lot of, but some of the Final Fantasy VI Locke and Sully's fanfic that I've read that has this scene, because I've read a couple about this, is that they don't quite go there either. It feels like a lot of the writers, especially perhaps in the earlier days of fanfic, so things from like 2006, because I think 2002 is the oldest Rokuseri fic on AO3. I was just looking at this like a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I'm gonna do a deep dive to see what's out there with Rokuseri stuff. It's like, I'll just like look up like things just to try to see like, is there fan art or fanfic or fan music or stuff that I haven't encountered, and how do I put it in my life? But I feel like some of the writers don't know what they want to do with it either. They don't know what the characterization is. Like, I'm gonna write the version of the scene that makes sense for Darkness and Starlight, but I also kind of just want to write the version of the scene that's in the game with the characters that we have in the game, because Darkness and Starlight is kind of different and it's kind of gone off on its own thing. I'm sorry, I meant to write an exact novelization with a few small tweaks, but I feel like it's kind of done its own thing. I don't know. Fortunately, apparently fanfic writers can do that. Because I've seen like people write fic with different pairings, so their different fics contradict each other, and they can do that, which is weird to me because that's not how I think. This is a reason why all of my fanfic is like writing the stuff that's in like, there's a reason why the only fanfic that I've written has been stuff that's true to canon. or one crazy AU that started as a joke. Every other thing that I've written is basically in canon, could be in canon, or is a version of canon. Darkness and Starlight is so long at this point, I don't even know, but it's still set in canon, and it's still trying to make canon work with tweaks. But I guess I just don't. It's like I don't get into pairings that don't make sense canonically. I just can't do it. I'm just not interested. Yeah, canon or canon plus. I guess maybe that's it. But like you could make a case. Like, oh yeah, I could read this relationship this way, and I'm like, oh, okay. But then there'll be like characters that like don't interact, or they hate each other, and you're like, well, yeah, but what if this thing? And I'm like, but those aren't the people that are in the game. Those aren't the characters we know. Why are you doing this? I don't understand. Which obviously is a very, very popular thing that very many people do. So this is very exclusively a Lauren problem, and not like a problem with doing that. But it is a limitation. Like, for example, I have friends who write OCs that then characters can like hook up with. And I'm just like, more power to you. Shockingly, those people also tend to like BioWare games, and I think that there's something about approaching storytelling in a certain way, that there's an overlap there between people who will create an OC to hook up with as original character, for anyone who doesn't know. Create an original character within the world that then the character, the game character that they like, can get together with. And people who enjoy and find BioWare games a satisfying experience, because you're basically making an original character that you're imagining your original character getting together with some canonical character who has a name and personality and stuff. But whatever that is just completely absent for me. Well, this is something I was kind of thinking about, because I was thinking about what I consider a crack pairing in Final Fantasy VI, and how that's not what most people would define a crack pairing. And I don't remember what it was, but somebody was talking about shipping some characters, and I was like, yeah, that one just feels like a crack pairing to me. It was Celes and Salmon. I was like, there's literally nothing in the game to back that up in any way. They don't have any really meaningful interactions until the World of Ruin, but they don't really have like a clearly defined friendship or connection to each other. They don't seem to have anything particularly in common. So I'm like, that feels kind of random. Plus there's a possibility that Sabin might have been intended to have like homoerotic undertones, playing to Japanese stereotypes about wrestlers. So I don't know. I think his likes and dislikes include dislikes women, if I remember correctly. But I was thinking about like what an actual true crack pairing was, that I had read this fanfic years ago where somebody was given what they considered a crack pairing and told to try to make it believable. And so it was Terra and Setzer, and they were to take the characters as they are in the game, like no AU or anything like that, and make that work. And it was really convincing. It was like, what would it take for these two to get together? It was really good. I was like, okay, within the context of this story, if these things happened, I would believe this. That's weird, but okay. And I have no idea. I could go looking for that fic and see if it's on AO3. I don't think AO3 existed when I read it. But for me, like, that was a crack pairing, you know? And for anyone who doesn't know, like, the terminology, crack pairing is usually, like, really out there stuff. Like, really out there. Like, Kefka and Mog. Okay. I don't even know if that exists. Probably because of the internet. But, yeah, sometimes sometimes you're like, okay, canon is bad and these characters deserve better, so I will write a version of things that is better. And I can kind of get that. But for me, like, that's like a different experience. I don't know. And also part of the thing here is also in the absence of canonical, like, queer pairings, you kind of had no choice for a very long time but to read subtext if you wanted to have representation. And because that was an era of my life that I don't know, you know, I don't know. There's something there. That's really all I can say without digging into my own psychology and life experiences. But so I understand that people, for example, who would have done that for their own reasons, like personal reasons, probably would be more prone to looking outside of canon in general, too. This is a tangent. I'm sorry, folks. I went off on a very, very long tangent here, but hopefully this was fun or interesting in some way. I didn't intend to go to the Phoenix Cave today. I don't know if I knew what I was intending to do. The Phoenix Cave is really hard, though. God, Locke's theme is so good, though. Good, well, I'm glad you enjoyed that tangent. Stuff that I think about. It's something I'm struggling with because part of why the latest Darkness and Starlight chapter's taking so long, partly I split it into 2 chapters again. But also, and this is still like over 8,000 words, and not done, this part. But part of it is also that I'm really struggling with like, why did I change things? I have to make decisions and solve problems now. I could have just literally followed exactly what happened in the game and I wouldn't have had to make those decisions and it would have been easier. It's much easier for me to write chapters where I can just follow what happens in the original. It's so much harder when I have to solve the problems myself. And I'm full of regret. Oh, Solitary Island? We can do that. God, I love this song. Have I ever mentioned that I like this? Did they bring my... I guess they brought my airship. I bet they did, because we would have had to have flown our airship away. We should save. This is the best, most important party in the game. I love them. Hi, Locke! Oh, look at how much health Locke has compared to Sully's. I mean, I know he's 5 levels behind her, but he's 500 less health. I love you, Locke. And that's part of why. Let's get you equipped with something to make you more useful. Oh, he's gonna be healing. He should probably steal this. Who's got this? Sabin. I don't know, man. I really like these two, though. I should probably actually equip him with stuff, too. He's an adventurer. That's his class, adventurer. Oh. Alright. Oh, no, I needed to give you... God, it's such a good song. Oh my god. Sorry. But there's better things to do, and it's putting 2 gloves on Locke. Okay, Solitary Island is located... I can get the buttons. Ah, it's all the way down there. Okay. Well, we could just... Vroom. Ah, I can't drive! I can't drive. Alright, we're here on the Solitary Island. What's up? Ooh. Oh, at the beach. Okay. Aha! Quetzali. What does Quetzali do? Let's find out. No. This one. Ah. Haste. Haste-ga? I don't remember those existing in this game, but apparently they do. Palador. Okay. All right. Are there any other little bits that we should do? Hello, bird. Yeah, no, I know that. I don't remember full party haste or slow existing. I mean, it's nice. That's a useful thing to have. Where should we go now? There's castles. Where are the castles? Ah, I see, I see. There's one that's in the desert. There's one over here. Oops, wrong way. I turned too much. Strago's Monster Hunt. Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. Because I should go and I should eat food. Because I don't eat lunch because I slept in because my schedule is messed up. But I'm thinking about 4 things left. Doma, Ancient Castle, Fanatic Tower, Strago's Monster Hunt. So that means that we're like, what, 2 sessions away? 2 streams away? If I do... Oh, sorry. Sleep is hard. And I don't do enough of it. Ugh. That's the thing. It'll be like 1 or 2 in the morning and I won't be able to sleep and I'll just be like looking up like Locke and Sully's stuff. I'll be like, I'll just look at fan art or fanfic or something like that. This is better than doom scrolling. Gives my brain something else to do. Oh, Gao is seen. Yes, now that we have Terra, we can do that. Okay. Cultist. Oh no. Well, I'll probably throw WOOOOO in my party. Man, I really wonder sometimes. I can't go back and watch my old streams, but I do sometimes wonder how often I say the exact same thing. Because I know with Deltarune that was the case, but I do wonder with Final Fantasy VI if I like say the same things just 2 years apart. We'll want to level people for Kefka's Tower. That's true. That's true. So maybe 2. Oh, I want life 3, right? Why do I get life 3? I get life 3. How do I get life 3? Oh, Phoenix. Phoenix. I have Phoenix now. Why did I not look at Phoenix? I have Phoenix. Oh, and I can open doors in Narshe. Okay, well, there's some things we can do. Yeah. I don't know why I forgot about Phoenix. Look, that's embarrassing. But yeah, no, if you look at the Returners logo, we commissioned somebody to do it because I couldn't get it to turn out right. But I was like, here is the Phoenix, the overlay of the Phoenix Esper from Final Fantasy VI. Please use this as a base. Re-raise. Okay, well that makes more sense, honestly. Probably. Does that mean that it's Reza for life 2? Is life 2 even in this game? There's gotta be life 2. There's an easy way to check this, Lauren. Here it is. Flames of Rebirth. Oh, that's such a cool name. Arise. Ah. Okay. We'll be working on this. Oh, look at this. Kuraga's here. Oh, and Furaga. Okay, well, who is wasting time with, I guess, yeah, we won't worry about that. This will be great for if anybody needs Asuna, but, and regen is great, but, okay, we'll be switching to this. Who's got Lakshmi? Locke. No, Locke. You don't, yeah, no. I mean, actually, you could probably use Asuna and regen, but then we're gonna immediately switch you over. Well, I guess Kira, that's fine. It's fine. Okay. Arise. So raise, arise, and re-raise. Got it. Alright. Well, I should go ahead and shut down so that I can eat food and get on with my life. which will involve recording Locke's dialogue for Darkness and Starlight chapters 2 and 3. I need to I still need to listen to auditions for Bannon, and then I'm going to need to record some parts from a couple of other characters. Yeah, it's good times. There will be more. Maybe I'll finish the Thamasa chapter this weekend, so you can look forward to that. Maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed. Also, I've just got a lot of projects. I should work on them, but first I should eat. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. If you're not part of the Discord, please feel free to join. If you're not following me on social media, I'm sorry, sometimes there is doom scrolling and doom posting, but it's also a lot of cat photos and what I'm up to these days. But yeah, I will see you all later. I hope that this has been fun for you. I'm sorry I just kind of went off after the end of the Phoenix Cave section, but I guess that's just gonna happen sometimes. This is how it goes. And at some point we'll start thinking about if we want to do a little indie game as a palate cleanser before we dive into Psychonauts 2, which is going to be the next Saturday stream, unless you all object and would rather see something else.